include Mafia.
Hello, Internet! I thought it'd be fun to talk about an idea I kicked around in an earlier video. So, one of the franchises I would love to see added to LEGO Dimensions is Overwatch, one of my favorite games of last year, and honestly this year. It was number 2 on my list of top 20 franchises I would like to see, and I thought it'd be a fun idea if I talk about how I think they should or could do Overwatch in LEGO Dimensions. First up, we're going to talk about Tracer. Tracer is kind of the poster girl for the series, I guess. She's on the boxes. She's usually the first character to appear in advertisings and appearing in other Blizzard games, that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to start with. Obviously, Tracer will have use of her pulse pistols. Using these, she can shoot targets from a distance with projectiles and even use the targeting ability. As for close quarters combat, she'll probably do something similar to what Shell does in Portal, which is punch and kick people and then swing her guns around. Moving on to her blink ability. Now, there's a couple ways this could go. They could just make it similar to the speedster ability, or super speed ability, that a few characters have. But maybe like shorter bursts of it. Or they can make it work exactly like it does in the game and in Heroes of the Storm, in which, you just hold a direction, you hit it, and you just kind of dash that way. Either one would probably work. Personally, I think the speed ability would probably be a better choice, but they could go all out for this. Next is Recall. This would be a very unique ability for her, and essentially it would work like it does in Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm, which is if you hold the button, you rewind a little bit, regaining any damage you've taken and the spot you were when you did it. Next up, she'll have her Pulse Bomb to destroy silver bricks. This is a ultimate ability of hers in the game, but in LEGO Dimensions she'll be able to use it at any time. Some other LEGO Dimensions abilities she might have: agility, the ability to double jump and swing on poles and such. And finally, a new ability to the series would be Overwatch Axis or Athena Axis. They could do either way. Kind of like the back row computer, Overwatch members can access these computers to unlock certain doors or money, what have you. And Athena's voice would be in there, so that's nice. Now, since Tracer, I predict, would be a level pack, she would come with 2 items. First item would be her ship, the Slipstream. This is the ship that gave her superpowers. This would be your average jet or plane, it can fly, maybe shoot stuff, that sort of thing. Her other vehicle would be Bastion. Yay! There are a couple ways they can do Bastion. Either they can have characters jump on Bastion's back to move him around. They can somehow jump inside of him like a mech, though I don't think that's a good way to go. Or they could do it like that mole thing in Fantastic Beasts, where you control independently of the character, which is kind of interesting. I think that could also be a pretty good choice for Bastion. He'd be able to walk around, he could shoot stuff, probably have some form of super strength, and just be cool to hang out with. If you were to level up Bastion and buy him all the gizmos and give him all the gold bricks, you can transform him to his next form, which would be the turret form, which would work like other turret weapons in the game, like Slimer's slime cannon, I think it's called. But instead of shooting slime, it would be gunfire. And the final form you could turn Bastion into would be the tank. Now this one you'd probably be able to ride and would work like a tank. You can spin the thing around, shoot stuff. Instead of a laser, though, it would be explosives, which could be used to destroy silver bricks. And there you have it. That would be what is included in the Tracer level pack. Now the level itself, I think, would probably be an adaptation of an event in the Overwatch world. Maybe it could be a retelling of her first mission, like they just recently did in the Uprising storyline. Personally, I would like a more, not necessarily an original story, but maybe a story we haven't heard, a mission we didn't know about that Tracer went on. Maybe she found Bastion during it. Or it could be set present day after Overwatch shuts down and just a story about a Tracer in a battlefield of some sort. Next up is Mei. Mei would be a fun pack. So, like Tracer, Mei would have similar close combat abilities, hitting with the gun and you know, just hitting people with their fists and maybe kicking. She would have the target ability using her icicles, and that would probably be her main projectile when you hold down the shoot button. And also she would have access to the Overwatch computers. However, Mei would also have freezing ability. Similar to Superman's ice breath, she'd be able to freeze people. She may also possibly have a cryo freeze ability, which would allow her to regenerate health and make her shortly indestructible. This is an iffy ability they might not include, but one ability that they definitely have to include is the ice wall. For those of you playing on PlayStations, this would be most likely her circle ability, which is to create a wall of Lego ice, either in front or under her, for defense, or fun, or attack. Don't really care, as long as it's used in some way, she do that. Mei, being a scientist, would also have various tech abilities. She would be able to fix broken objects, as well as interface with technology. The new intelligence memory game things they have from the Ghostbusters world. And, using Mei's helpful robot friend Snowball, she can do various drone abilities. Most likely flying drone, similar to the Mission Impossible ability. As for vehicles, I'm thinking some kind of snowmobile or hover snowmobile, since to my knowledge Mei doesn't have an iconic vehicle. So I'll just give her some snow themed one. A Zamboni maybe. Something like that. And finally for this video, D.Va. The D.Va Fun Pack. So there's a couple ways they could do this. Either they can make D.Va just the girl, D.Va figure, and the mech could be her item. Or they could do it like Cyborg, where she's able to call the mech as an ability, but also has a similar mech as a vehicle. They could also just give her like a limo or some other one of the payloads as a vehicle if they want to just keep the mech with her. Either way, it's fine. As I've said, D.Va in any case would start as just her. And as just her, she would have access to her light gun, similar to Mei and Tracer. She would have close combat, be able to target, shoot things from a distance, yada yada yada. I don't think she would have Overwatch access because she's technically not a part of Overwatch, but they could give it to her anyway because who cares? She's in the game. She's not an enemy of Overwatch, I think. D.Va's big ability would be the ability to transform into her mech form, similar to, like I said, Cyborg. Once she calls her mech and goes inside, she gains a few new abilities such as super strength. Another ability she would have is the defense matrix. Similar to the magical shield many of the magic using characters have, it would actually just be projected in front of her, however, similar to in the game, or even in Heroes of the Storm. She'll be able to walk around while doing this, but she won't be able to change directions. So she's always blocking this one side. As far as movement goes, they could give her a full fly, like a plane or vehicle. They give her a kind of hover, like the Tantric Psychic War Elephant. I might be messing up that name. Or they give her a short timed boost, similar to a plane, but with a time limit. And finally, unlike some transformations which have a time limit, like the Cyborg transformation, there will be no limit. However, whenever she wants to go back to her smaller size, she will automatically activate self-destruct for her mech, similar to in the game. And when self-destruct, it can destroy silver bricks. And that's it for this episode. I had a lot of fun coming up with the different ways these characters can translate to LEGO Dimensions. If they were to announce Overwatch into LEGO Dimensions Year 3, which characters would you like to see? I know I had a bunch more in my mind, but I didn't have time to do a whole bunch of characters, and I figured I could always do another video if I really wanted to, or if you guys really wanted me to. Having said that, I could also foresee other franchises. I mean, I have a list of 20 franchises I would like to see. So, you know, I have a lot of ideas, and I could share them, possibly, if if anyone wants that, but you know, it's cool either way. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing or liking or commenting. You don't have to do those, but if you at least consider it, that's fine. It's a little stuttery. Has that been doing that this whole time? Thanks for watching.